AITA for telling my sister she wasn't invited to my wedding because of something that happened 10 years ago? We're not strangers to drama in my family, but this one is a new level, and I genuinely can't tell if I crossed the line or just finally drew one. 29M, am getting married in 4 months. My fiancée, Rachel, 27F, is the best thing that's ever happened to me. She's warm, smart, emotionally stable, all the things I didn't grow up with. Our relationship has been one of healing for me. I don't say that lightly. The problem? My older sister, Erica, 32F. To outsiders, Erica is one of those people who seems like she has her life together. Great job. Always smiling in photos. Speaks well. But the people closest to her know she's been the source of chaos since we were kids. I don't mean just bossy big sister energy. I mean lies, manipulation, guilt-tripping, sabotage, and the kind that's so subtle, people rarely see it coming. Our parents divorced when I was 10. Erica was 13. She immediately picked sides, our moms. Mom was intense, high-strung, the kind who thought crying was emotional blackmail, and affection was earned, not given. Erica adapted. I didn't. I got quiet, kept to myself, learned to avoid fights rather than win them. Erica? She learned how to weaponize emotions, mostly mine. She'd joke in front of friends about how I cried when Dad left. She once told a girl I liked in high school that I had anxiety attacks if someone yelled at me, just to make me look weak. She stole my stuff and blamed it on cousins. One time, she even forged a text to make it seem like I was talking trash about our aunt, just to watch me squirm at Thanksgiving. And the thing is, if you called her out, she'd always have a ready-made excuse. It was just a joke. You're so sensitive. You're remembering it wrong. Classic gaslighting, only I didn't have that word for it back then. But the real damage, the reason I cut her off, happened the summer I turned 19. I had started dating a girl named Lauren. First serious relationship of my life. She was kind, funny, incredibly patient with me as I navigated all the emotional baggage I had never unpacked. I was still living at home, working and saving for college. One night, I came back from work and found Lauren crying on the porch. She'd been inside the house with Erica and Mom while I was gone. I asked her what happened. She didn't want to talk at first. But after some time, she told me Erica had pulled her aside and, with fake concern, told her I had cheated on my last girlfriend and had a pattern of lying. I was stunned. That wasn't even remotely true. I had never cheated on anyone in my life. I confronted Erica immediately. Her face didn't even flinch. She just said, I thought she deserved to know what she was getting into. Better now than later, right? I lost it. Not in a yelling, violent way. But something in me snapped. I told her to stay out of my life. I moved in with a friend the next week. I went low contact with my mom and full no contact with Erica. Over the next few years, I rebuilt my life, got into therapy, and slowly reconnected with my mom, but always on my terms. Erica never apologized. Never reached out. Just sent occasional happy birthday texts like nothing happened. Now here we are. I've built a peaceful life. Rachel has heard the stories, but I try not to dwell on them. I told her the broad strokes. My sister and I are estranged, we're civil at family events, barely, but I don't trust her. A few weeks ago, Rachel and I sent out our save the dates. We had already decided on a small wedding, around 50 people, only people who bring peace and joy into our lives. I didn't invite Erica. I didn't even consider it. Cue the drama. Apparently, my mom mentioned the wedding date at a brunch, and Erica realized she never got an invite. That night, she sent me a long text. I don't know what I did to deserve being cut out of my brother's wedding, but I'm hurt and honestly shocked. I stared at the screen for a long time. For a second, I considered ignoring it. But I decided she needed to know exactly why, so I replied, "You're not invited because I don't feel safe around you. You tried to sabotage my first real relationship by lying about me. You never owned up to it, and you've never changed. I'm not bringing that energy into my marriage. This wedding is for people who make me feel loved. I hope someday you understand." She didn't take it well. She screenshotted the message and sent it to our mom, our cousins. Even posted a vague rant on Facebook about how some people hold grudges forever. I started getting messages from extended family asking if I really meant to exclude my own sister. Even my mom, who's kind of come around in recent years, told me, "It's your wedding, but this seems harsh. She's still family." I asked her, "Would you invite someone to your wedding if they tried to destroy your relationship on purpose?" Mom got quiet. Then said, "It was a long time ago. But it wasn't long ago for me. That wound never healed." And the worst part is Erica never even acknowledged it. The Facebook post wasn't subtle. Erica wrote one of those passive-aggressive status updates that don't mention names. But everyone knows who it's about. Something like, "Imagine planning your wedding and choosing bitterness over family." Some people really let old wounds define them. Sad. And of course, the comments were full of "you deserve better and stay strong, Queen Redheart" from people who had no clue what she'd actually done. It was frustrating. No, infuriating. Because in her version of the story, I was the cold-hearted brother who couldn't forgive, not the one who had spent years trying to heal from her emotional shrapnel. I didn't reply, didn't comment. I stayed silent. But that didn't stop the ripple effects. Within a few days, I got texts from two cousins, both saying something like, "Hey, I don't want to take sides, but is everything okay?" Translation: we saw the drama. What's your side of it? I kept my answers short. I wasn't interested in dragging everyone into it, but the pressure didn't stop there. At a family barbecue, yeah, I know, bad timing, Erica showed up. I hadn't seen her in person in almost a year, and honestly, I hoped to avoid her altogether. But fate, or maybe pettiness, had other plans. I was standing by the cooler, grabbing a soda, when she walked up behind me. "Really?" she said. Arms folded, I didn't even have to turn around to know who it was. "Hey," I said flatly. "Not the time or place." "Oh, but it is," she snapped. "Because you've told everyone your little version of events, and now I get dirty looks from our family like I'm some kind of monster." I finally turned to face her. She looked the same, always composed, always just a little too calm when she was playing the victim. "I didn't tell anyone anything," I replied. "You posted it on Facebook. You made it public. Because you blindsided me," she hissed. "I'm your sister. You didn't even talk to me before making that decision? You just cut me out?" I took a deep breath. "You did that," I said. 10 years ago, you sat down with the first girl I ever loved and fed her lies about me. You knew what you were doing. And you've never once said sorry." "Oh my God," she groaned, rolling her eyes. "You're seriously still on that?" It was so long ago. I was trying to protect her. From what? I asked. From me being happy? She blinked, thrown for just a second. I pressed on. "You've always hated when people like me. When I got attention, when I made friends. You couldn't stand it unless you were at the center of everything. So you tore me down. Over and over. Over and over. And yeah, maybe I let it slide back then. Maybe I thought that's just what family does. But not anymore. I'm not that kid anymore." She didn't respond right away. Her mouth opened, then closed. I think she expected me to shout, to get angry so she could twist it into me being the problem. But I was calm, painfully calm, and I think that's what scared her more. "You're cruel," she finally said, but her voice cracked. "I made mistakes, sure, but you're throwing away your own family." I looked her straight in the eye. "I'm not throwing anything away," I said. "I'm choosing peace. You can call it whatever you want." And I walked away. Later that night, Rachel and I debriefed everything. She hadn't been at the barbecue, thank God, but I told her what happened. She was quiet for a while, then said something that surprised me. "You know," she said, "I've always respected how you handled your past. You didn't let it define you. But watching you stand your ground with her, I think that's the first time I've seen you truly choose yourself." I didn't say anything, just nodded. Because she was right, then she added, "I support whatever decision you make about Erica. But if she somehow shows up to the wedding uninvited, I will personally have security walk her out." And that, right there, was why I was marrying her. That night, I couldn't sleep. The confrontation had stirred up more than I expected. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, and suddenly, another memory hit me, one I had buried deep. I was 21. I had just applied for an internship at a company I really wanted to work for, big deal, competitive spot, and I was nervous. One day, I got an email saying they'd received a follow-up message from someone claiming to be my sibling, warning them that I had anger issues and had been unstable in the past. I was shocked. I confronted my mom at the time, thinking maybe she had done it out of some twisted attempt to protect me. She denied it. Swore she had nothing to do with it. I never found proof it was AITA, but now, in hindsight, it all made sense. The timing. The wording. The way she smiled a little too much when I told the family I didn't get the internship. I had wanted to believe I was just paranoid. That no one would ever do something that low. But AITA would, and she had. After that memory came back, my decision was sealed. A few days later, I sent out a group message to my extended family, polite, measured, but firm. I explained that AITA would not be attending the wedding, and anyone who had a problem with that was free to decline their invitation too. 3 people pulled out, 2 cousins and an uncle I barely talked to. Everyone else stayed quiet and showed up. The day of the wedding was peaceful, beautiful, exactly what we wanted. There was laughter, tears, the good kind, dancing, hugs, and not a single moment of tension. AITA didn't show up. Whether she respected the boundary or just didn't want to face me again, I'll never know. Maybe it doesn't matter. What mattered was the energy in that room. The love. The genuine love, the kind that doesn't manipulate or guilt or pretend. So yeah, maybe I did hold on to a grudge for 10 years. But it wasn't a grudge. It was a boundary. One I should have drawn a long time ago, and if protecting my peace on the most important day of my life makes me the villain, then maybe that's a title I can live with.